I have a question about you, how you go about making your response recommendations to the governor. Are any non-health factors taken into account? I know we just had this debate that I don't feel was really, I don't think we got an answer from you about non-health factors, particularly when we look at the mental health aspect for our children.
During the height of the pandemic, as you can imagine, the governor and I spoke daily. And in fact, up till, recently, spoke 3 times a week. And the whole breadth of the impact of the pandemic has been discussed at times. You can't ignore the fact that every single one of us have been impacted. I've been impacted. All of you have been impacted. The governor's been impacted. And it impacts your families and the way you carry out your lives. So of course, in general conversation, things are discussed. And as you know, the governor lifted the mask mandate before CDC. It's probably one of the first times that we stepped outside of what the CDC required because of a sense that it was time to do that. And we were going to do it before, quote unquote, the science.
Thank you. I understand as part of a broader conversation. My question was it's actually factored into the decision making from your position, not other stakeholders. When we look at who bore the brunt of this pandemic, it's women and children, and that women had to leave the workforce. We also know that they're predominantly in the caretaking fields, and we're facing a hiring crisis. So how would you speak to that with regard to the barriers that continue on with the COVID policies through the state in addressing that shortage and doing what we can to get women back into the workplace?
Well, the general impact of COVID, I need to go back to one of my prior comments. This is a novel virus, never before seen in humans. It is unreliable. It preys on vulnerable individuals. It has disrupted not only our lives here in New Jersey, but nationally and internationally. No one knew, particularly in the beginning, what to expect. We had no testing. We had no protective equipment. We had no indication that there was asymptomatic spread. We were relying on prior experiences with viruses, particularly coronaviruses, which are pretty common, and none of that has been borne true over time. The unreliability of this virus and its ability to mutate and escape all of our immune systems is something we're going to have to internalize and bring forward with us as we support not only women and children, but quite frankly, one another.
Commissioner, my question was forward-looking in nature, and I appreciate you giving that retrospective of the virus and what we've learned. But I will say again, what barriers do you see in getting women back, and primarily women, you're right, it's not all women, but we have a severe shortage in the healthcare industry, and we're requiring mandates. Do you feel that the testing for marijuana will also present another barrier to hiring?
I'll talk about COVID. The actual number of individuals, particularly nurses, that have left or lost their jobs because of the mandates, if we are to believe what the major systems are telling us, and our experience in our psychiatric hospitals is quite low. Is quite low. I can give you the, because psychiatric hospitals are under our purview, I can tell you out of our 4,000 employees how many individuals have left because of the mandates, and it's significantly lower than your question seems to be leading to.
82.
82 out of 4,000.
So that's within your
That's
narrow
within our
purview of the psychiatric
Yeah,
facilities,
that's the
right?
specifics. The systems are telling us that the percentage of individuals that have left because of the mandates is quite low. So we
And-
have significantly low numbers leaving. I just
So
want to
you-
clear that up because I think that the workforce shortage is a real issue. And I think it does relate to, as Assemblyman Munoz has brought up, the mental health and well-being of people that were on the front lines during the worst of this pandemic. It was harrowing. It was devastating. And I do believe that a 20% loss in our particularly nursing workforce is going to happen. And Department of Health stands ready to support whatever initiatives we can and that are within our purview to help reverse that.